So I'm here at the Chamber of Commerce. That's it right there in Bancroft. Just dropped by to get my permit for Bear Lake. It's $10 a piece, so that's Jeff and I are heading down there. And they've been really helpful lately. Like they're really working to encourage people to come to Bancroft. So Bear Lake wise, they've advised us here, and I'll put this on the ground so we can have a look. This is basically the entrance to Bear Lake right here. They're suggesting most of the pits around this area are somewhat tapped out. So Jeff and I are going to head for this ridgeline along here. I don't know if you can see it. And we're thinking the fissures go under the ridgeline. So we're going to dig in this area. And I know in the past Bear Lake was great for titanite and apatite. It's really one of the classic mineral collecting localities in the Bancroft area. It's been dug for years and it's still giving. So let's see what it has to offer. Tory Hill to the left. He doesn't know. Okay. So this is the Monmouth County dump. Famous for its bears. And also the Sarnak zircon mine is back that way. Great place to find zircon if you can handle the bears. Okay, we're turning off, I believe it's the 503 onto Glamour Road. Getting us closer to Bear Lake. Madhill Road maybe? Let's have a look. Yes. Okay, turning right on Madhill Road. So we're almost at Bear Lake right here. You can see the bugs are outrageous. Just kind of minor obstacle. Come on! You're holding us up! Gotta find our master vein here. That's where we are.
So we came up this way?
I think we're right about there somewhere.
Well, there's K.
We should park right here and just, you know, it looks like they're all labeled. So K is a K fissure. We want to follow the F. They've really gone to town setting us up for rock hounds. F is the one we want to follow. That's our fissure, but you can see here, looking for titanite, apatite, feldspar. There's our titanite and this hornblende right there. So this is the most common stuff that you're going to see at the site. The veins are running basically east-west. They're filled with calcite. The walls of the veins are lined with hornblende, biotite, and feldspar. So the way this works is everything's dissolved in the calcite. It's the last thing that's going to harden, so it's almost like a soup. And the crystals, the feldspar, the hornblende, they all kind of solidify first. Hence the reason that the calcite is in the very center of the vein. It's the last thing to harden up. So everything else just kind of hardens up on the walls of the vein. And what I'm doing here is I'm working at the calcite, trying to remove the calcite and expose what's crystallized out of the calcite. Okay, Jeff, what are you finding, buddy?
All these little doubly terminated green apatites.
Those are not considered little, they're pretty decent size.
Twins.
Beautiful.
Nice greens. That's the nicest one yet.
Wow. Yeah, you've definitely found some good stuff there in your hole.
Somebody else's hole.
Oh, really? Where about you digging? Down below?
Yeah, there's this chunk that fell off. Underneath of it, it's all apatite.
Let me know if you have a spot that you can share with me.
Sure, going this way.
Going this way?
The whole thing is apatite.
Okay. Go. So I'm down in the Collins Pocket, as we're calling it. You can see all the wall rocks, beautiful wall rocks here underneath. This is obviously where Jeff found all of his apatite. And we're also finding a bit of feldspar and hornblende. It's all down inside, right inside there, and underneath the wall. So I'm digging by hand now because the shovel and me don't fit together in here. And we're just holing out some amazing stuff. So Jeff seems to have a real eye for finding the spots, right? So anyway, we'll keep digging. We'll show you what we find if there's anything really spectacular coming out of it. He says Bear Lake's tapped out. It's far from tapped out. Look at this. Big piece of apatite. It's extremely glassy, no fracturing. And so far, tons of apatite, not at all fractured. We got hornblende over here. I got a couple of, small titanites in my pocket. we've hit water. What's really weird is there's a lot of like rounded pebbles as though there was running water down there. Probably not the case, but it's just kind of weird why there would be these rounded pebbles. So down here, into this fissure, when I put my arm to elbow length, I can feel a piece of apatite, a crystal, literally as big as my arm length. You probably feel about a foot in length, and then it gets out of my reach. So inside, absolutely pristine, beautiful crystals, and we're trying to take a photograph of it. So I just found that deep down in this fissure. The fissure's actually open. It's quite narrow, but it's got about a foot and a half of airspace down there. And I guess that's probably a hornblende or something like that. It's hard to see till I clean off all the mud and so on. So Jeff's still digging. We're trying to see if we can actually bash a few rocks away to open up the fissure so we can actually crawl into it. Here's our day's take. That's probably the nicest one, doubly terminated apatite, which Jeff has found. That's the biggest apatite, which I have found. Very glassy. And all sorts of other little bits and pieces, a couple of wall rocks up there. Tons of, there's a nice one. Another similar kind of thing to that one. Just got to clean her up. Doesn't matter. Just keep showing. That, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Hope I'll be okay with the hands. No doubt ingesting some mineral specimens, but I don't know. This is the far end of the fissures. They end up at this particular lake here. Come in on the angles like that. So if you wander far enough, you eventually hit this. Just a beautiful, beautiful spot. So it concludes a real good day of digging at Bear Lake. I think this is the prize. Big, huge apatite termination on top, just laying there. Can I see the whole part? Lovely kind of a green, little corroded on the back. Deep kind of green. I don't want to scrape around too much on the surface. We'll wash it off gently. So I mean, there's still a lot to be found here at Bear Lake, and they've set it up so it's really easy for rock hounding. You've got a little map that corresponds to the letters. You can see K. We were digging around the C area. Good place to come, and I highly recommend it to people. Just stopping at the Chamber of Commerce. I think it's $10. It is $10 for a permit. Leave it in the front of your car. And it's $10 really well spent.